Hey guys, so my story is that I grew up without a dad. I was probably 3 years old when my parents split up. I remember one day waking up to them arguing, running across the living room from one door to the next. Mom was trying to keep dad from leaving. And I remember that dad spread his arms open and told me to come to him. Um, I remember him whispering in my ear, "I love you so much, princess." And till this day, I'm 31 years old, and he still calls me his princess. Um, I remember I didn't hear from Dad when he left that day. I grew up very depressed, very sad. I got made fun of because I didn't have a dad. I would see all the other kids and their moms and dad, and I only had a mom, which my mom was a good mom, but, everybody wants their dad in their lives. And when it came time for my quinceañera, I wanted my dad there. Because if any of you guys have been to a quinceañera, there's a dance that the quinceañera dances with her dad. And so I wanted my dad there, but I didn't know where he was at or where to find him. So I had my quinceañera. Of course, I didn't have my dad there with me. And then I graduated high school. I went off to college. I was still very depressed. I still wanted to know where my dad was, why he had left. I had so many questions unanswered. So I finally made up my mind, and I called the only person I knew would know where he was at, and that was my tia Letty, or my Aunt Lucy, in Houston. So I called her up. She gave me his number, and it took me a while to actually build up the guts to call him. And when I did, he answered, like, on the first ring, and I didn't say anything, and I hung up. A little while later, that same day, I called him back, and he answered. And when he answered, he said, "Princess, is that you?" And all I did was start bawling. And so we talked for a few hours, and we decided to meet, and we set the date, and we met in Houston. And I remember that day I met him. I hugged him. It had been about 19 years since I had last seen my dad. I remember hugging him, and all I did was cry and cry until I felt like I had no more tears left. And we hung out together that day, and we talked, we ate, we catched up. And he's been in my life ever since. My kids love him. He's a great grandfather to them, and he's a great dad. I mean, yeah, we all have our issues, but, that doesn't keep him from being a good dad. But yeah, that's my story.